everyone. Today's story is about the moment our writer thought she had everything figured out and life decided to prove her wrong. From career setbacks to unexpected health scares and financial curveballs. This is a story of how her perfect plan completely unraveled and the lessons she learned along the way. Welcome to Short Stories with Lola. I used to think I had life all figured out. I had a plan. A solid, well-structured roadmap that I was sure would lead me to success. I had my career mapped out, my finances under control, and a timeline that made perfect sense. And then, as if the universe itself had a sense of humor, life completely derailed everything. I quickly learned that no matter how much you prepare, life will humble you. And sometimes all you can do is laugh, cry, and figure it out one step at a time. Let me take you back to when I thought I was in control, before reality reminded me otherwise. The master plan that didn't stand a chance. At 26, I was convinced I had it all figured out. I had a 3-year plan. Year 1, establish myself at work and secure that big promotion. Year 2, save aggressively for a house. Year 3, buy said house and start living my picture-perfect adult life. Simple, right? Wrong. Because life had its own brilliant plan for me. The first blow, work takes a turn. I had spent months working on a major project, one that would guarantee me a promotion. I sacrificed sleep, gave up my weekends, and convinced myself that hard work always pays off. Except 1 week before my big presentation, I walked into the office to find out that the entire project had been scrapped. Gone. Done. Just like that. Poof. No warning, no explanation, just an email saying, due to new company priorities, we will be shifting focus away from this initiative. And just like that, the big promotion that I had been banking on vanished into thin air. So I told myself, okay, no big deal, adjust, pivot, I can handle this. And then came the second blow. The health scare I didn't plan for. Around the same time, I had been experiencing irregular bleeding. Nothing too alarming at first, but enough to make me concerned. My period had always been pretty predictable, but suddenly I was spotting all the time. Some months my cycle was barely there. Other months, it was like my uterus was auditioning for a horror film. Finally, I went to see the doctor, thinking maybe it was just stress or diet related. But after multiple tests and an ultrasound, I was diagnosed with an endometrial polyp, a small abnormal tissue growth in my uterus that needed to be surgically removed. Surgery. That was not in the budget. I had savings, sure, but they were for my future house, not unexpected medical bills. And the cost wasn't just the surgery. There was post-op medication, follow-up visits, and a complete change of my diet to help with hormone balance and healing. I sat in my car after leaving the doctor's office, staring at the bill estimate and thought, well, there goes my house fund. The breaking point. Between the job setback and the unexpected medical expenses, I was bleeding money, literally and figuratively. And then, as if life wanted to really push me, my landlord decided to sell the building where I was renting. Meaning I had 2 months to move out. At this point, I was holding onto my sanity with duct tape and cheap coffee. I had planned for everything except all of this happening at the same time. One night, sitting in my half-packed apartment, eating cereal straight from the box, I just started laughing. Like full-on hysterical laughter. Not because anything was funny, but because I had finally accepted the joke was on me. I had spent so much time trying to control everything, mapping out the next 5 years of my life that I never stop to consider that life doesn't care about my little roadmap. And then, just to make things worse, I got hit with something I hated even more than unplanned expenses. Asking for help. Swallowing my pride and learning to accept help. If there is one thing I've always struggled with, it's asking for help. I don't know if it's pride, stubbornness, or the irrational belief that I should be able to handle everything alone. But life had officially humbled me. I needed help with moving costs, with medical bills, with just getting through the mess. And the moment I finally reached out to my family and closest friends, I realized something. People want to help. The same way I would have gladly helped a friend in my position. People were ready to support me financially, emotionally, and physically. One friend helped me move. Another sent me a grocery card to stock up on healthy food. My mom, who I thought would lecture me about finances, just said, "It's okay, honey. This is why we save, for life, not just for plans." And for the first time in my life, I allowed myself to accept help without guilt. What I learned. I won't lie and say that everything magically fixed itself after that. Life is still unpredictable, and there are still days when I feel like I'm playing catch up. But I did learn some very important lessons. 1. Plans are great, but flexibility is better. Life does not care about your timeline. Be willing to pivot. 2. Your health is not an expense, it's an investment. If you ignore your body's warnings, it'll cost you way more later. 3. Asking for help is not a weakness. No one succeeds alone, and struggling in silence helps no one. And perhaps the most important lesson, just when you think you've got everything figured out, life will find a way to humble you. And sometimes all you can do is laugh, cry, and figure it out one step at a time. This is Short Stories with Lola, where we dive into relatable and sometimes painfully humbling experiences. I hope today's story reminded you that no matter how much we plan, life has its own ideas. And when things go sideways, sometimes the best thing we can do is adjust, ask for help, and keep moving forward. Thank you for watching, listening, and sharing. Do not forget to subscribe on YouTube, follow on Spotify, so you never miss an episode. And until next week, stay flexible, stay open, and maybe don't take your 3-year plan too seriously.